Guys, I finally have decided to make a Bitaxe Touch video. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on this, and I know your patience has been running really thin, and I appreciate your patience. The project has been going through a lot of debugging. The team is trying to figure out how to step up production and bring this to the actual market. This right here is a current prototype, and it's operating great. I've been running this device for probably close to a month now, and it's been running absolutely flawless. I just want to give you guys a really good look at the Bitaxe Touch and the size of it, the overall size profile of it. Very small, very sleek device, very nice, very high quality. It literally fits in the palm of your hand. It's not, you know, it's not a really huge device. It has a lot of power and a lot of functions for as small as it is. And I just want to make an overall video and get you guys familiar with the device and show you some things that you've been wanting to see. I've been wanting to show this device off for a while, but now I feel like it's finally ready. So let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in. So it'll go through its initial booting stage, and I already have this device set up. I'll make another video where I'll walk people through setup, but this one's already connected to Wi-Fi and configured. So you'll see immediately it comes up with the time, it comes up with the Bitcoin price. All of those things require Wi-Fi in order to work. So whenever you first turn your device on, you will have to set it up for all these functions to work, but you will have to go through the initial setup process to even get to the home page. So let's go over the home page a little bit. As you can see, we have the time in the AM PM format. We have the day of the week, the month, the date, and the year. Super cool. I usually find myself looking at my computer for the time, maybe looking at my watch if I actually wear one, or maybe looking at my phone. But I find with this device plugged in that I actually look at the time more frequently. It's really cool to have the actual time displayed in your home. I feel like we've kind of lost clocks. I don't really have clocks in my home, but overall, I find myself looking at the time a lot more frequently. And it's pretty cool that a Bitcoin miner can display the time. So here we have the Bitcoin ticker. We're sitting at $96,291. Who would have ever thought, right? Bitcoin's been absolutely crushing it lately. This data right here is being pulled from the mempool, and that's pulled every so often and updated regularly as long as your device is connected to Wi-Fi and running. Here we're going to have your ASIC temperature, and we're going to have the actual watts that the device is pulling. So right now we're sitting at about 14.5 watts. Over here we have the hash rate, which is 1.3 terahash right now. I do have it on the medium setting, so it's very quiet, and we're only running at about 11 watts per terahash, which is pretty impressive. The medium setting usually runs somewhere around 1 terahash, so this device seems to be an overachiever. Over here to the right, we have the temperature of the ASIC displayed in Celsius. So this is all good, quick references, but you can see these things in more full detail in these little side selectors here. Over here, we have a Wi-Fi status symbol, which basically when you see this here, this means that your device is connected to Wi-Fi. And you'll be able to tell that because if your device isn't connected to Wi-Fi, you don't get the time, you don't get the Bitcoin ticker. You know, you can tell when your device needs to be connected to the internet. And here we'll go ahead and click that Bitcoin B. And now we open up all the Bitcoin network stats, which is one of my favorite things about this device, because this is where you get all your mempool information that normally you would have to get on a computer or maybe your phone just to figure out what the network fees are, when's the next halving, when's the next difficulty adjustment. But on the Bitaxe Touch, all these things are here, and it's great. So first thing you'll notice is a bigger Bitcoin ticker. That's always great. And we have a difficulty progress bar here. So there's a couple things going on with this difficulty progress bar, and there is an actual progress bar. So the closer you get to the difficulty adjustment, this lighter red will fill up this darker red. And the closer it gets here, the closer you are to a difficulty adjustment on the Bitcoin network. Some of these stats down here is the actual progress. So we're sitting at 13.78%. So this bar is around around 14% complete from the actual dark red, from being 100%, right? So we have the remaining blocks until the next difficulty adjustment. We have the remaining time in days and hours, and we have the estimated change that the difficulty is expected to change. So right now it looks like we're expecting a difficulty adjustment in the downside 2.64%. So that's really awesome. I really love this screen. I'm serious. It has like everything you'd want to know. Over here we have some Bitcoin network statistics. So we have the overall hash rate of the network. We have the overall difficulty of the network. We have the actual block height and how many blocks are left till the next halving. That's a really super cool feature. Totally awesome. Over here we have the network fees, which are listed in top priority to non-priority. Here lately, the mempool's been really empty. We've seen the mempool clear out several times. So right now it looks like sending Bitcoin on chain at the fastest rate you can send it is only 4 sats per virtual byte. That's great. And then it's going to go all the way down to a minimum fee, which is essentially no priority. So for those guys for those people who don't like to spend a whole lot of Bitcoin to send Bitcoin, if you like to do the 24-hour transaction, it's only 1 sat per virtual byte. So we'll go over here to this little line, and this is a live hash rate screen. So this is super cool. This is where you can see the actual hash rate of your device in real time. This little chart is going to plot it out in sort of a line, and it's going to display your hash rate. It's going to continuously move up and down. This is like the heartbeat of your Bitcoin miner, of your Bitaxe Touch. So again, super awesome. You can see what pool you're connected to, your best difficulty, and your rejection rate of your shares submitted. So this screen's pretty simple, but very awesome screen. We'll go over here to this pickaxe, and this is going to be all of the live stats from your Bitcoin miner. So starting off with the network, you're going to see what network you're connected to, the actual IP address of the Bitaxe device. So the reason why this is important is because Bitaxe or AxeOS operates on top of Bitaxe. And the team at AxeOS, when they developed this, they wanted people to still be able to access the OS of the device, of the Bitaxe itself. So if you type in that IP address, it still allows you to access AxeOS and interact with it. That's where you can change your hash rate, the fan speed, all those sort of things that you're normally used to. But realistically, with the touch screen, you don't really have to do that. Here, it tells you the status you're connected. Obviously, we still have the Wi-Fi emblem there. It tells you what your primary pool and what your fallback pool is. So this does run the latest and greatest firmware for AxeOS. And you do have that primary pool and that fallback pool as well. Here is your power. So again, we have our input voltage, which is 5. We have the actual current. We have the power of the device, and we have that ASIC voltage listed yet again. A lot of these things that you're going to see on the screen or some of the most important things anyways, are going to be displayed up here as a quick reference. But this is a screen that gets a little bit more detailed. So here you can see your overall hash rate of the device, the efficiency, your best difficulty, your session difficulty, your accepted shares, and your rejected shares. And over here on monitoring, you can again see the ASIC temperature, your actual fan RPM, your fan percentage, your ASIC frequency, and the uptime of the device. So you can see that I've only been running this device for about 9 minutes now. So we'll go ahead and go over to settings, and there's kind of a lot to unpack here. And so first thing you're going to see is the network settings. So something that's super cool about the Bitaxe Touch is that the guys at AxeOS figured out how to allow this device to scan for networks. So this is my Wi-Fi here. Probably shouldn't be showing that, but that's all right. And it's going to show every single Wi-Fi source that it's picking up. For any reason, if you ever wanted to get on a different network, you can simply select it and you can put in your SSID and your password. And what's really cool about this is that you can see it is a fully touchscreen keypad. So there's numbers, letters, special symbols, ways to capitalize your letters and whatnot. There's a space bar. So super cool there. And for whatever reason, if you don't see your Wi-Fi network, you can simply click rescan and it'll rescan all of the networks around you and you'll be able to find your network. Here, if we go over to this mining tab, this is where you can put in your information like you would normally do on AxeOS. So when the device boots up straight out of the box, it's going to be configured to public pool right out of the box, but we didn't want people to be limited to public pool. So at any time you can change your Stratum URL, the port number, your Bitcoin wallet address, and those good things on your primary and your fallback pool. Over here for ASIC, this is probably what I'm excited about the most. I absolutely love this feature here. It really makes it simple for anyone looking to run a Bitaxe Touch or a Bitcoin home miner. For people who don't want to try to mess around with the voltage and the frequency, this really just gives you 3 simple settings. You know, you have a low power mode, which is going to be your most quiet mode. This runs somewhere around 7 to maybe 900 gigahashes. Your normal power mode is going to be basically default settings, and that's going to run somewhere around 1 terahash. And then your high power mode, you will notice an increase in noise, but it's going to get you somewhere around 1.6, 1.7 terahash. The noise increase is significant, but that's because your ASIC has to work harder to produce that hash rate. Therefore, your fans have to spin faster to cool that ASIC down. And I'll show y'all how that sounds in a second. Over here on themes, this is another super cool thing. So there's a bunch of different themes here. We have a couple different projects going on. So as you can see, we have the AxeOS default. Those guys' colors are red, so are ours. Super cool. We have the Solo Satoshi theme. We have a Blockstream theme for the Blockstream Jade bundle that we're going to be doing. And then we also have Bitaxe Red. And when you select your theme, it'll give you a little preview of what it's going to look like. So right now, some of these things are still being worked on, which is why I've been a little silent on this particular project, but it's coming together quite well. We're still in like trial and error mode, still updating firmwares, trying to debug and stuff like that, but it's coming together quite well. So you can see here the Blockstream blue is going to be the actual Blockstream blue color. It's going to have some lasers in the background, all that cool stuff that the Blockstream team submitted to us. That's a super cool thing we have going on. Over here for the time, you're going to be able to go to whatever time zone you want. So if you're halfway across the world, you can program your time to say, or to reflect your actual time zone. Really cool feature. Here, this is strictly for our testing purposes. This is debug. So what this allows us to do is overheat mode. So this device will have overheat mode, And basically what these buttons allow us to do right now, since it's still in development mode, is basically trigger these things. If I actually press overheat mode, I'll have to reset the device, so I don't want to do that right now. But when the ASIC temperature goes over 75 degrees Celsius, there are thermal settings inside of the Bitaxe firmware to where it makes your device go into overheat mode. And this is for your protection and for the device's protection as well. We don't want to start house fires, we don't want anyone to get hurt, and we don't want to damage the unit. So this is standard on all Bitaxes, but here you can actually see it. And what that's going to be is a big bright red screen that says overheat mode. You'll be able to see that thing across the room. So right here, it will allow me to click block found. So if your device ever finds a block, then it will say block found. It will give you the block height. It'll give you your difficulty. This is just a simulator, obviously, and now it's blue because I changed the setting. But you'll actually be able to scan this QR code and see the block that you found as well. This is an important screen. This is why we're mining, right? For the most part, besides decentralization, but super cool screen. This had to be done. Really awesome here. I'll go ahead and dismiss that. And then we have the save setting. So what this allows you to do is factory reset the device, which will take this thing completely back to default settings. It will erase all of your history or all of your settings out of the device and literally restore it back to factory settings. This QR code here, I'm gonna have to set up a video later and really show you guys the importance of this, but it's super awesome. So this QR code here is what you are going to scan to actually update the user interface of the touchscreen. So whenever a new theme comes out or whenever a new bug gets fixed or whatnot, then you will be able to scan this QR code. The device is actually going to spin up a server, and you can browse your device that you have the firmware on and directly put the firmware into the machine without connecting to it. No more USB-C cords or anything like that, at least for the UI. And it will allow you to update all of this. This is how we get all of our new themes, all of our, everything that we're changing, like with the clock and other things, which I'm about to roll into. You guys are going to love this. That is how we change it, by scanning this QR code. You'll have something pop up on your phone. It'll ask you for a file. You put your new file in there, and then you totally update the user interface of this device. And it'll either look totally different if you're trying to get a new theme, or depending on what's actually changed in the firmware. So we're gonna go back to home, and I wanna show you something. I wanna show you guys something like super cool. It's something that the team at AxeOS has been working on. We've had some valuable input from the community where people wanted to see a special feature on the clock. And this is where we get to show it off. So at a first glance, you see a clock, you see a home mining, maybe a home mining device if you know what you're looking at. But what's also super cool for the Bitcoiners is that we have implemented a block clock on the device. And this was something that a lot of people were asking for. And being that open source is a community-driven effort, the team at AxeOS and us at Solo Satoshi, we've given the valuable feedback to AxeOS, and these guys have actually implemented it. So now, if you don't want to look at the time, you can look at a block clock. If you don't want to look at a block clock, you can look at the time. So I want to show you guys what this device sort of sounds like. Now, I am recording this on an iPhone, so it may be louder or more quiet. I'm not sure how accurate the speakers are on the iPhone, or the microphone is rather. So I'll go ahead and put this guy on high power mode. Anytime you change any of these settings, you'll simply go to save right here, and the device will totally reboot. So it's going to reboot in that Blockstream blue theme now, since I didn't change it back. But you see how that works? So you make all of your changes, you hit the save button, and now all of your changes are submitted inside of the Bitaxe. And now you should hear those fans speed up quite a bit, because it's going to try to cool that ASIC chip off. So you can hear that the fans are working overtime to try and cool that ASIC off. You can see that we're now running about 58 degrees Celsius as those fans spin up, and that the cool air is going to go in on this side of the device. It's going to blow over the power delivery circuit of the Bitaxe, which is cool because it allows the PCB of the Bitaxe to actually run a lot cooler. It's going to funnel through the heatsink, and it's going to exhaust out of this side. So the pass-through cooling was a really big obstacle on this thing, and it's come together quite well. You're going to see a significant increase in hash rate on this setting. You should see anywhere from 1.6 to 1.7 terahashes, and we can watch that sort of start to climb up here. It'll be a little bit before it reaches there because it has to ramp up and actually achieve that level. But that is an overall view of the Bitaxe Touch. There's so many things that you can literally play with this thing all day, and Bitcoin mining is now at your fingertips. I never really thought I would see this. Bitaxe as a project is a phenomenal project. I feel like it's one of the most important things in the Bitcoin space, and we had the luxury of being here very early as Solo Satoshi and really seeing all the developments on Bitaxe change over time. But so far it's absolutely amazing. We feel like the Bitaxe project absolutely needed a final product look, and I feel like the Bitaxe project, or the Bitaxe Touch rather, provides that. So again, you get all of this power in such a small package, and it's absolutely amazing. It's safe. It's safe for kids. It's safe for pets. It's safe to run in your home. You know, this right here is the Solo Satoshi setting. It looks like we have maybe a little minor UI error upon boot up, but again, the device is it's still in debugging mode, still in development mode, and the team at AxeOS is now starting to produce units. So the production of the actual hardware and the case and the screen and everything is pretty cut and dry. What I mean is, it's just getting everything made and getting everything assembled. The firmware and the user interface of the device, how it operates, how it responds to your touch and all the different changes that you see, that actually takes time, but it could be kind of worked on behind the scenes as production is started. Something I'd like to point out is that the screen isn't really blue like that. I guess that's just the way LCD screens look whenever you're filming them with an iPhone, but it's actually black. So this is all really, really black. This is all red. This is a nice pearly white color, and all of the icons are like super red because that's our colors. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to make a more deep dive video where I show you actually how to set it up. If you have anything that you'd really like to see, please let us know in the comments. But if you like what you see, then like and subscribe. And you can always go to solosatoshi.com and sign up on the in-stock notification list. What we're going to do when we roll these devices out is we are going to take everyone on the in-stock notification list and assign them a unique and special code that they can use to check out. So what we're thinking about doing is limiting everyone to one device, because we don't want to enable people to come to the website and try to hoard them or buy out the entire supply, possibly try to resell them. We want everyone to try to get their hands on one, and after we sort of saturate that in-stock notification list, you'll be receiving an email that it's your turn to actually purchase one. You'll get that code, you'll be able to get one and secure one. There's no more trying to access the website and having it crash and those sort of things, really, really frustrating things that we've come to learn as a business, So, yeah, I really hope you guys like this. Like and subscribe, sign up for the in-stock notification list on solosatoshi.com. This is one of the most important projects in the open source home mining ecosystem right now, and it brings a final product to your desktop. So you can see now our hash rate's actually starting to get up there. We're at 1.4. You'll see it get up to 1.5, 1.6, and that's around where it's going to cap out at. It does bounce around a lot, but over an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour average, it should average somewhere around 1.6 terahashes per second, which is really impressive for the price point and the overall quality of the device that you're going to receive. And I'd also like to point out that there are some things being worked on behind the scenes of getting this all aluminum milled. So your faceplate will be aluminum milled and the entire housing will be aluminum. Right now, this is printed out of resin. It's a very high quality resin, high quality finish. It looks very professional. But moving forward, the Bitaxe Touch will be all aluminum. So again, just that final effort, that final push to actually bring a final product to your desktop, to your end table, to your computer desk, to your bookshelf. And the team at AxeOS has done an incredibly amazing job. They're such a great group of people, and it's been an absolute pleasure working with them. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, follow us on Twitter, on X at Solo Satoshi. Sign up for the in-stock notification list and subscribe to YouTube. We have the Home Mining Podcast. We're going to be interviewing so many people in the Bitcoin home mining space. We really want this to take off, to decentralize Bitcoin mining, because it is so centralized. There's only a few pools that are controlling more than 50% of the hash rate, and it's absolutely unacceptable. These things are made and brought to you by people who believe in Bitcoin and people who truly want to decentralize the Bitcoin network. Thank you guys for tuning in.